So this is something that I've been thinking about for a while. You know, for the last little bit, I've been really diving back into fighting games, and I kind of have always come and gone with fighting games throughout a lot of my life, but I've always had this passion for them. They're frustrating sometimes, but they're also some of my favorite genre of games that you can get out there. But there's one thing for people like me, and I think a lot of people out there are like this, which is why I'm making this video. Struggle with finding the enjoyment in them when you're a beginner, when you're a newcomer, and you just really don't know how to play that much. Because I'm in the same boat with a lot of these games. I'm still a very new beginner level player when it comes to a lot of fighting games, especially now. And I'm kind of making this video, one, to share some things that I've learned that have helped me gain that enjoyment back and really have fun even when you're losing online, and to help people get online, because it can still be a really enjoyable experience. And I wanted to share a few things that may help you guys who are new or coming back or whatever, and maybe even some more advanced players can take something away from this that's good as well. And it's also a video too to just kind of be the beginning video for my journey of getting better, where I can look back in a year, 2 years, 3, however long it is, and be like, wow, I've come a long way from when I started playing fighting games. Or at least started in the sense of, not being on and off with it anymore, and actually trying to dedicate myself to getting better. So I kind of want to share a few things that I think will help, because like I said, there's a lot of people out there that I think are like me, that really have a passion for these games, really like them, but just really struggle having fun. Especially, let's face it, when you're losing all the time, it's really hard to have fun for most people, right? However, there's some little things that can help change that a little bit. And one of the first things I want to talk about, and I think that it's one of the most important things, and that's all about your mindset. It's all about mindset. For the longest time, I don't know what it is about just me as a person. There's been times in fighting games where I'll go in and I'll play for hours in training mode. I'll play the arcade battles, whatever, and I think I'm just amazing, I guess. I'll go online, I expect to win all the time. And then when I don't win, it's crushing, and I don't know what buttons I'm pressing, in the sense that everything I practice seems to go out the window. And it just like makes you mad. It kind of feels a little personal when someone beats you. But the mindset that you guys may have, and that I had for a long time, it was all about the win. I just got to win. It's all about winning. I'm better than everybody else, even though I'm not. I got to win. I could beat everybody I'm going against. I just got to win. And I've watched a lot of videos. I'd watched a lot of things about mindset. And it got me thinking about really having the mindset. And if you guys are fans of Dragon Ball, you'll get this. The mindset of Goku. For those of you who are fans of Dragon Ball, Goku's a character that is all about self-improvement. He loves to fight. He loves to challenge himself. Not necessarily to win all the time, but to see where his weaknesses are and to get stronger, to get better. And that's kind of the mindset that I was carrying into fighting games, is how can I enjoy the learning process? When I go online, whatever I do in the game, how can I just shift my mindset to, it's not about winning, it's about bettering myself. And I know that sounds simple, but sometimes in these games and online games, you kind of forget about that. You just want to win, instead of enjoying the process of just learning new things, seeing what you can do, seeing where you're weak at, and getting better at that. And so that's the first thing I've learned for myself that's helped me a lot. And it's also kind of helped get over that fear a little bit of going online and playing other people, is understanding you don't have to win. It's not about winning. I'd like to win. I'm going to try to win. But what do I need to learn in this match? What can I improve upon to help get me better? And that's something I'm working on that's helped tremendously when it comes to enjoying the matches and not being as frustrated and getting as mad because you feel like you deserve to win, even though you haven't really done much to deserve to win that fight. The other person was better, and that shows you where your weaknesses are and how to improve on that. So as we get into these other points, that's just the first thing that I've been thinking about and that I've been working on that's really helped. And I just wanted to share that with you guys to really start getting into that mindset of it's okay to lose. It's okay. And you can have fun losing. You can still do really cool things in a match, even if you lose or you pull off that combo or whatever it is you've been working on, in that match. It's really cool. Okay, the second thing, and this is pretty important too, and this isn't going to apply to everybody because you probably already have a game in mind that you like, but I think it is really important if you're getting into fighting games or, as a straight up newcomer, there's a lot of popular games out there, a lot of popular fighting games. Do yourself a favor and pick a fighting game that you actually think you'll enjoy. And I know that sounds weird, but a lot of people, I think they want to play this Street Fighter because it's really popular and a lot of people are playing it, which is good to have players to play against. But if you don't like Street Fighter and it doesn't look interesting to you, forcing yourself to play it's not going to do you any favors as a newcomer. There's been a lot of fighting games that I've bought over the years that I don't know why I bought it. It was like a lot of streamers were streaming it, I guess, and I thought I'd like it, and I didn't like it. It was just kind of a waste of my money because I didn't really want to play it. Doesn't mean it's not good, it just wasn't my thing. So pick a fighting game that you know you like, that you know has an interest to you. Maybe you grew up with it, or the characters look cool, or whatever it is that interests you. Pick that game. And if you can, pick one that is a bit newer that you can get into, that meets those requirements, so you have people to play against that are also fairly new. Okay, now going along with that is, and this one, not everybody may agree with this, but it's definitely helped me, and I get it, learning a character is a time investment for sure. Okay, but I think there's people out there that look a lot into tier lists, and that this character is the best character in the game. Oh, so I should be playing this character. Well, here's the thing. If you don't like that character, you don't like the way they look, or you don't like the way they play, it's going to be really difficult for you, most likely, to actually sit down, get into training, grind it out, and learn that character when that character just bores you, or it's not that fun, or it's too difficult. Okay, and here's the thing. Tier list, even as a beginner in a lot of games, it's not even unique to fighting games. A lot of times tier lists don't matter unless you're a high level play. Okay, you can take the worst character in the tier list, put that character in the hands of a pro. You can be an amateur with the best character and they'd probably still win. Picking a character that you like, whether it's because they look cool or whether it's because you like their play style, or hopefully both, pick that character and focus on one character. Or if you're like me and you like to play multiple characters, just maybe two, but spend some time to test characters out. You know, just press some buttons and figure out which character you think appeals to you or speaks to you, but don't focus so much on tier lists. It's really important, I think, to pick that character that you like. For example, in Street Fighter, I've always liked Cammy. Cammy's been my favorite character back since Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. This was like the first Street Fighter game I ever played. It's just the character that I like. Yeah, I like the way she looks. I like her play style. She's just a fun character. And so that's who usually my go-to is when I play Street Fighter. And when she's not in there, it's kind of like, oh man, now I gotta go find a character I want to play. I don't care where she is on the tier list. I have no idea where she is on the tier list in Street Fighter 6. I don't know if she's really good or she's really bad, but she's fun for me. And I think that's really important. That's going to help you enjoy the game more, is if you're actually playing the character that you like. And here's the other thing too. Patches happen. Things change. It's going to suck if you pick a really high tier character that somebody's rated as high tier and they nerf the hell out of that character, and now you just learned a character you don't even like and that's not even good. You know, it's going to be frustrating. So pick a character that you liked. That's going to help you a lot, especially when you're having that mindset of how can I learn this character? How can I improve? It's going to be a lot more fun when you're playing the game you like and the character that you like. Okay, now this one is probably one of the most important ones for me. I can't tell you guys literally how many hours, dozens, hundreds of hours over the years that I have wasted time in training mode, of just using training mode in the worst way possible and not really knowing what I'm doing. I think this step will help you a lot. I think this point's going to help you a lot. Is effective use of the training mode. Now, I'm not going to sit there and preach to you like I'm the master of training mode and know how to do all these things, but I have started to develop as a beginner how I can use training mode more effectively and actually improve on some skills. What I was doing before in every fighting game is I jump in training mode and I would just press buttons, see what all the moves are, see if I can put some things together. And that was it. I was just pressing buttons, honestly. I didn't really know what I was doing, not learning the mechanics of the game specifically, unless it was right in my face telling me, and just pressing buttons. And then maybe I'd go in arcade mode. And that was about it. But I never felt like I was actually learning anything. And then when I would go online, I'm just sitting there mashing stuff and I get frustrated. I'm like, I've spent 10 hours in training mode and I still don't know what I'm doing, because training mode is there to exactly that, to help you train. But if you don't know what you need to work on, it's really hard to train. Otherwise, you kind of just doing stuff. So what I started doing, which I think may help some of you out there, is when I pick up the game and I find the character I like, I'll go into training mode just to see what button does what. Okay, what's my light punch? What's it look like? What's my medium punch? What are my specials? Just to kind of get familiar with what that character can do. Luckily, some games, especially games like Grand Blue, Street Fighter, a Tekken, have some type of combo trial or even combos, example combos you can pin on the training just to get 1 or 2 combos to put together, especially if you're not good at finding that stuff yourself, which I'm not. I usually have to look up combos because I can't really find them myself, not very good at that. But just finding 1 or 2, just basic stuff, and then learning the specific mechanics of the game. Like if you're playing Street Fighter, learning the drive rush, all the little mechanics of Street Fighter specifically, just to get an idea that it's there. Not even necessarily to be really good at it, just know that it's there. Then I'll jump on a couple matches. I'll go online and I'll jump in 2 or 3 matches or so. And usually I will lose. And I jump into ranked, honestly, right off the bat if I can, because I like to try and get paired to people who are close to me. Not necessarily, because I don't really care what my rank is, to be honest. I don't care if I'm, you know, rookie, don't care if I'm high, I don't care. I just want to be matched with the people that are fairly close to me and that can challenge me. So I'll jump into ranked, play a few matches, and just kind of see where I'm at, see what my brain can remember of what button does what, and what I really need to work on. Maybe I'll go online, I'll realize my defense is horrible. I have no idea how to stop, you know, how to block or how to counter anything. I don't know how to do that. So then I'll go back in training mode now that I've realized, you know, what's something I can work on, and I'll practice that in training mode. Okay, I'll practice that one thing that I learned in training from those few matches, the biggest thing that I've learned or something that really stands out. You know, maybe you struggle with, you know, anti-airing people. You know, when people jump in on you, you don't know how to stop it. Okay, that's something that you can practice. You know, something you can put out and practice or pick out and practice. And then I'll go back into training mode, practice that. Maybe practice a few more combos if I get, if I would, you know, actually could pull those off pretty effectively, or at least can kind of get them memorized. You know, I'll go back in training mode and I'll try to learn some more. And not spending too much time in training mode either for me. I try to spend a little bit of time there, but not a whole lot. I feel like the best way I'm going to learn is actually going online and seeing where my weaknesses are, so then I can go into training mode and go, how can I stop this? Or how can I actually better fight this character? Because I've never seen those moves before. I don't know how to get through them. And that's something I can practice, which is, again, has helped me have more fun with it, because now I actually know what I'm doing. I have a goal and I have something that I can see pay off when I actually learn how to do it. And that's really exciting. It's nice to see those little improvements. And so having that better use of training mode, and honestly not spending a bunch of time wasting time in there, you know, it may be different for, you know, when you're experienced, or, you know, you really know what you're doing to lab the character out and discover all of this stuff. It's fantastic. I hope to get there one day where I can do that. But for right where I'm at as a beginner, I kind of have to take it in bites, and that's helped a lot. It's felt less overwhelming, and it's increased my enjoyment to continue playing and want to play more. So hopefully that made sense, especially in the comments. For those of you out there who see this video that have a lot of tips that you've discovered to help people like me, other beginners and newcomers, really find that fun and enjoyment while you're struggling, let us know. Put it down in the comments of what's helped you, because I'm here to learn too, and I want to get better and continue to enjoy these games. Okay, the next thing as well is, and this is really important, is you got to jump online. You got to do it. You may not like to think this is true, but it is. Okay, there is a weird wall of fear and nervousness and anxiety that people get, myself included, when wanting to jump online. I think that stems from a couple of things. I think that stems from, one, you don't want to lose. You don't want to get your butt whooped by somebody online, and you're not playing a team with a team, so you can't blame your buddy that you lost, why you lost. It's all on you. I think that adds stress to people, and I think that creates this big barrier of what people, you know, want to just play against the computer, or play, you know, just continue to go into training or something, because there's just this weird thing where if you lose to a computer, it's just a little less aggravating than an actual person, for, you know, whatever reason that is. At least that's how it's been for me. But breaking through that barrier and actually playing people online is going to help you a great deal. One, it's going to boost your confidence, because you're actually going to find you will win some matches. You will lose a lot, but you are going to win some. You're going to realize you can win some. But fighting a real opponent is the best way. It's way better than a computer, because here's the thing. People mess up. People make mistakes. The computer doesn't really make mistakes unless they're programmed to. And they can be really frustrating and do things that you're just like how does a computer even know that I'm about to do this? I don't even know I'm about to do this. Sometimes playing against people, you get a little more realistic feel of how moves actually work, how people actually play characters. And it's going to help you more than you think. It's helped me a lot. Surprisingly, I always thought I was just going to play against computers, which sometimes it's a good way to practice. You kind of practice things on a computer so you can just try to practice the same move and, you know, not just do the same thing against a real person because you're just trying to practice something specific. But there's nothing wrong doing that online either. Like, it's your learning experience, right? Sometimes what I'll do is when I play the game for the first time, or I'm just jumping in that day, I'll just go online. I'll go online and just play even a single match just to kind of break down that barrier of pressing that button to play online. Okay, just to get it out of the way. I don't care if I win or lose. Yeah, I'm probably going to be a bit rusty. You know, I haven't really practiced, but it doesn't matter. I just want to get my mind going to that. Yeah, I can play online. I already press, you know, once you did it once, it's easier to do it again, right? And that's just something out there for you guys. I know that like playing online can be intimidating. It really can. Especially when you're playing maybe a particular fighting game where a lot of people that it's a bit older and a lot of people left are really good. But again, those things going back to their points of your mindset, you know, don't worry about winning, worry about learning. Eventually you'll get better. You'll realize what you can and can't do and what you need to work on. And the effective use of that training mode is actually going to help you pick up on those things that you need to work on. And then, yeah, breaking that barrier. Don't be afraid to go online. Like, pretend it's a computer if you have to, but playing against other people is going to help you immensely. And especially the more you do it, the more you're going to learn and you're going to realize, you know, what your weaknesses are and what you can improve on. And it's fun to do that. Like some of the matches that I was playing the past few days, I was losing more than I was winning, but I was surprising myself that I was getting wins. And it made it awesome when I actually could pull off the move that I've been practicing. It made it a lot of fun, and it makes it more fun when you know you're doing it on a person than a computer. It just is. So if you're really struggling to get those online matches in, when you boot up the game up, just do it. Just do it. Don't even worry about winning or losing. Just break the barrier. Play online, play a match or two, then you can go in training and kind of figure some stuff out. Okay, but it'll help you break that wall that you need to, so that you can just, oh yeah, I can jump back in now I think I actually learned some stuff, let me try this again. One of the last couple things, and I think this one's really important as well, I kind of struggle with this a little bit because there's a lot of, and I'm not going to name names in this video, there's a lot of YouTubers that I really like that are fighting game, I would consider pros, they may not, but are very good at it. And they've been playing a really long time. And sometimes you watch these videos and you see the amazing stuff that they do and that they can learn, the combos that they're doing, all of this stuff. And it kind of makes you feel like, man, why can't I do this? Like, I'm putting in work, I'm trying to do my best. And you can't really hold up to that same level, which makes sense. You're a new player, you're a beginner, right? They've been playing for a long time. Stop comparing yourself to YouTubers and streamers, eventually, maybe myself included, and worry about what you can do and your level and your own self-improvement. It's like a martial art. If you're a white belt and you're comparing yourself to a black belt, well, yeah, you're going to be disappointed because you're not going to be that good. You're just not. You can still have fun in your sphere and eventually increase that sphere. You'll gain new knowledge. You'll get better. You'll learn how to play all those little things of what they understand about fighting games and how things go together. Eventually you'll pick up on that, right? I can already see little bits of things that I'm starting to pick up on just from playing. So don't compare yourself to people online. It's fun to watch them and it's fun to hear their insight and their input, and it's cool. Don't get too worked up that, you know, you got to be like them, or you know, man, I'll never be that good. Like, they got 20-30 years on you sometimes playing these games, man. Like, and on top of that too, if you're like me, I'm not just a fighting game player. I play a lot of different games. So of course I'm going to have less time in it than somebody who just plays fighting games or just plays a particular fighting game. Yeah, they're going to get better. They're going to be better. You know, it's just part of it. But it doesn't mean you can't have fun. One of the things I've noticed about myself, Street Fighter is probably my favorite fighting game franchise. I love the characters so much. You know, the Street Fighter 2 roster is like the best in my mind. But I sometimes consider myself one of the worst Street Fighter players ever, like at my current level. But I still enjoy it. Like, I still love playing the game and playing with the characters that Street Fighter gives you. It's really, really cool. And again, the whole point of this video really is I just, you know, I'm like I said, I'm not a professional. I just want to share some thoughts that hopefully, even if one little thing in this video sticks out to you that helps you a little bit, find that fun while you're struggling, I think is awesome, because those things is what's helped me. You know, I'm less anxious and nervous to go online now. When I'm losing, I still don't, you know, I used to, I can't tell you over the years how many controllers I've broken being mad at fighting games and other games, you know, growing up. Like, I don't like losing, and I'm not saying you have to like losing, but when you change that mindset to, it's not about the win, it's about learning. It's about finding the things that can make you better. Okay. And looking at your opponent as a tool to help you get better. That's it. Okay? It's nothing personal. They're not out to get you, right? It's like, it's a tool to be better and to better yourself. You know, think like Goku. That's all I can say on that. Because when you jump online, you break through that barrier, you get online, and you're just trying to learn. You're just trying to figure things out, and then take that to training mode and figure out, oh, I need to work on this or this or this. That's what I'm going to work on training mode today. And that's the one thing I'm going to focus on today. And if I can do that really well, hey, I can move on to the next thing, move on to something else, you know, or whatever it is that's best for you. And that's the thing. It's not a, you know, one size fits all approach. You know, everybody has a certain way they like to do things that makes sense to you. It may make way more sense to you than it does me to sit in training mode for hours and just do a bunch of stuff in there, and then that clicks with you. I don't know, but for me, it eats at me too much, and I feel like I'm giving myself too much information and that I can't translate very well. Anyways, hopefully something in this video. Sorry, I know I ramble a bit. I don't really script my videos per se. I kind of just speak what's on my mind. Sometimes I have points that I want to talk about, but just kind of whatever comes to me. So, but hopefully something in there, you know, speaks to you, or at least is something that can get you going in this journey. And because like I said, this is kind of a video I'm putting out as there's gonna be a lot more fighting game content on this channel, and I kind of want to see that progression and putting all this stuff to the test. I'm not saying that I'm not ever gonna get mad, right? That's just a natural human, you know, thing to do, right? It's like, you lose a lot, it's gonna get frustrating, but remembering these things is gonna help, and it's gonna help you, and it's gonna help you want to continue to play or get into them. There's a lot to love in these games. But again, let me know in the comments tips you have for me to, you know, improve in fighting games. But tips for everybody else as well. You know, this is kind of where we're at right now as a beginner level channel in fighting games, but I want to see the improvement of myself. I want to help others improve, and have you guys teach me. You know, I'm here to learn too. I want to get better at these games. Like, that's something I've always wanted to do. It's always felt like this milestone that I haven't ever been able to reach, is actually where I would consider myself, you know what, I'm pretty good. Like, I'm not amazing, but I've gotten pretty good, and that's kind of what I want to get to. So, and I may need your guys' help to do that. But anyways, that's going to be it for me. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. I really hope so. And who knows, maybe I'll run into some matches against you.